All right. After wasting all day at the thrift store for nothing, I came home and I could have already been. I was there for 4 hours today. So you guys give me a hard time about like, oh, you find such good deals. I sometimes sit there for 4 or 5 hours and I don't come with anything except for $1.49 26-inch mountain bike inner tube. Okay. So anyway, I shouldn't have even went today. I wasn't even gonna go. Anyway, we got the old gigantic Cooler Master. You know, for years I called these Cool Masters, but it's actually Cooler Master, which I really don't think is a good name that rolls off the tongue. Cooler Master? I don't know. I think Cool Master would have been much better, but I guess somebody probably took that name. What do you call it? Something else. It was like the thermal tank. I swear there used to be a company called Thermal Lake. Thermal tank. By the way, they say these things are junk. A bunch of people have told me these are junk. And this one pisses me off because it is not long enough to reach around the back. And realistically, it wouldn't matter what case this thing's in because it's just not long enough to reach. If you look at where my power supply sits from the motherboard, I only have this little gap here, so it can't go any closer. I did the best I could on the cable management here, guys. I know it's not pretty, but it's not a rat's nest down the bottom either. So we're running very minimal setup on here. This is an OEM HP 1060 GTX, which means it only has 3 instead of 6 gigabytes. And there's some damage on the connector here. Part of the plastic's broken. This thing's... Oops, don't do that, dude. This thing's kind of... One of my beefs about graphics cards is like, can we come up with better designs so they don't... Like, so some of the big ones, I mean, they just... They sag. Anyway, this is all the graphics card I really need. But this power supply has kind of weird connectors if you look at like the ends of them. You see how some of them are round. That does not exactly match the one up there at all. They're like, but they still fit in there, but they're not a match, which is kind of strange. So what's cool about this case here is it has that spot there, and there's a plate and you can remove it, and then there was, you know, whatever would have been there for water cooling. For extreme gaming. This case here is already pretty overkill. These fans are huge. That's the smallest fan. That's not 120 millimeter. Let me see if I have a regular fan. I'm pretty sure I do. Okay. I don't know what size this fan is, but you can see here. That's the difference. And that's the smallest fan in here. And the rest are these. They're huge. There's one there, and there's one there, and then there's one that goes on the side of the case. If we really wanted to, we could even put a fan down here. How cool would that be? Like, dude, I'm gonna put another fan in here, man. So you'd want it to draw air in from the bottom so you could fill your computer with dust. So the power supply is going to be sucking air and then blowing it back out. So you really could vent out the bottom if you wanted, as long as there's not an imbalance. I've seen plenty of them that don't even have a fan in the front, and they just allow the other one to do the draw through method. But this is kind of different because with this one has enough pressure, it will pressurize the case. But since you have these other two, they're exhausting faster than this can draw in. So there's kind of a void going on here probably. If you added another one, it would be weird. But we could do that. Anyway, I'm just not really sure that I want this board in this case because I'm not able to use this other USB. And I think it might be the FireWire up here, but it might be the eSATA. I'm not sure. Maybe the FireWire is on the 4 USB ports. So these two here, I suspect, are the 4 USBs. There's 2 each. And then this other connector here goes to this one here. Somebody told me what the SS standard for, super speed or something, I don't know. The other connector here is that, so we'd need one of those to one of these. And I don't know if this is the same as a USB plug or not, I can't remember. But there was 5 ports on the old board that was in here. So I'm actually thinking that I may actually just go ahead and put the old board back in here. And maybe ditch this power supply and put the 800 in here that I have. That is a bronze 80 certified, whatever the hell. Because it has, I think, longer cables. I could just put this in the server case. And the other board, I think, is the same width. The board that came out of here was a little bit narrower, so that it only went up to here, or something like that. So they had these little zip ties to hold the stuff in here. You know, I don't know what size you would consider that to be. I can go grab it and show you, but the board is at least like that much shorter, because this one here wants to come all the way out to here, and then it's so close up to here you can't really get to the SATA ports. So that was why I didn't install it in here. And then also we don't have a port for this, this guy. So I'm just still trying to decide what to do. I was hoping to go to the thrift store. I was hoping maybe I know that they had a computer tower that they took a bunch of stuff out of, and I thought maybe they might put the tower out for sale, but they never did. And I asked the guy, he's like, "Oh, no, I threw it out." So much for that. Anyway, and then this one here is missing too many screws, and I need to get some screws. I need to find a cheap place to get like standoffs and motherboard screws, because I just don't have enough of them. And then I might do something with this one, or maybe I'll pull the motherboard out of this one and just get rid of the case. They take up a lot less space. If you're not using something and you just get rid of the case, and you put, like, you get like a box, like, you know, that the motherboards would come in, like this one down there. You know, it's hardly taking up any room. I could fit, you know, probably 4 motherboards in one of these cases inside of a box even. So this one here, I don't care for it. So I'm just trying to get things consolidated a bit, and you don't need like 7 or 8 computers. I mean, I really could just run just SAT if I wanted to. Anyway, I'm gonna clean up this computer. We'll do another video on some benchmarks and see how it does in its new home.